Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. You will notice that my voice is quite raspy. This week I was hit with some sort of sinus virus, and man, oh man, my sinuses were so congested. I can't remember the last time that I felt that much. Oh, it was just like so blocked, painful. You know, I had this moment this week where I had like a really good cry. Like, you know, when you're in so much pain and you're in full surrender and you just cry. So I experienced that this week, but it was so helpful because after I had the cry, so much came out. I think the tears helped release it. And afterwards I was like, ah. And it was such a reminder of the importance of being in the body, of somatic work, of working with our emotions to help release and clear and bring us back to a state of homeostasis. So yeah, this has been a week. And so when you're hearing my throat, I'm actually not sick at all anymore. I'm pretty much at the tail end of it, which feels great. But my throat is just, I've got my tea. I'll be drinking this throughout the forecast. This is the forecast. And I think if it wasn't the November energy forecast, I probably would have taken a bit of a longer break with my voice. But the energy that is ready to come through for November needs to be shared, my friends. So buckle up because this is going to be a good one. As always, if you are needing deeper support on your journey, I offer lots of different intimate offerings, my one-to-one soul coaching, my one-to-one readings, my Akashic soul readings are some of the best work, not the best, but just my favorite work that I get to do because it really helps you tap into your heart space, your intuition, your purpose and your path. And yeah, if you're needing more support, go to the link in my bio. You can check it out there. I offer lots of freebies. Let's just dive in. So the first piece that was shown to me was November is, and this actually came in I'm reminded, this came through in a client reading today, this bell curve, okay? There's a few different ways I want to explain this as a symbol of what you're going to experience this month, this bell curve. And this month very much you could see it as broken up into three sort of different energetic experiences that all weave together as part of this tapestry this month. You're going to experience, and they also want to say too, it's a bit of choose your own adventure, but from a place of if you are allowing and trusting and surrendering to the pieces that are showing up and allowing yourself to ride the wave, that bell curve is going to feel a lot smoother. It's going to feel a lot more in flow for you this month. If you are pushing, fighting, resisting, that bell curve is actually going to feel kind of like this, where you might have some high highs and then some low lows, and it's going to feel staticky. It's going to feel hard and rigid. So notice the difference in those energies. The first part of the bell curve that they want to speak to is, and I haven't even gotten into the themes yet. This is more just to give you an idea of the energetic breakdown of the month. The first part of the bell curve is going to feel like upheaval. And I know that sounds very dramatic, but there are things that are needing to be cleared more, released, let go. October was a month where we were seeing things clearer, where we were understanding, like the veil was so much thinner in October. And so you were probably able to see things with clear sight. Now with that enhanced clarity going into November, the upheaval is going to be like the change, the shifts that need to take place things need to be moved. Upheaval can sometimes feel like everything being thrown up in the air. That's not always a bad thing. If we're moving with intention and we're moving with discernment, we can slow down that energy so it doesn't feel as intense. So get ready for that upheaval, because then as you kind of come to the top of that bell curve, there's going to be opportunity for clearing space. The clearing of the space is really important because certain things are not meant to be taking up space in your reality anymore, in your external reality, in your internal reality. So once you get clear on the upheaval of what's being thrown up, and if you can just be quite present in that experience, then discerning what needs to be cleared. Because what comes after the clearing of that space is the clicking into place. The clicking into place. And so let's break down what some of these pieces are meant to feel like and what you're meant to know through them. And I also want to say for a moment here, think of this as a mountain, okay? You could think of the upheaval as climbing the mountain. It might feel a bit harder because you're going to see things clearer of what needs to be shifted and moved and changed, climbing the mountain. Then you get to the top. You get to see everything. It feels, when I imagine being at the top of a mountain and looking around, open, spacious, that's the clearing of the space. And then the descent is where things click into place almost effortlessly. So let that symbolism of the mountain guide you when the things feel hard, especially in the upheaval energy. So theme number 1, upheaval. What I'm being shown is that this is going to have a lot to do with a job for some of you, a changing of career or a changing of your path, or maybe a change of or a shifting deeper into purpose. So that's what it could look like in that arena. I'm seeing a change of physical location, upheaval, maybe where you're living, your living conditions, maybe moving from one city to another, or moving homes, changing homes. It could even be around relationship, upheaval in that. But it doesn't feel as strongly with this. This feels more in regards to, it's making me think of in tarot with the pentacles. It seems more to do with matters of your physical reality, job, money, career, home. So tap into that. See where you are being asked. If you go back to October, I mean, I'm still in October when I'm recording this, but we're kind of leaving it energetically. This last month, what has become clearer to you? Because the veil was thinner, you will have gotten greater clarity if you're paying attention, if you're practicing awareness. What has become clearer for you? What are you seeing with greater clarity? That is going to be connected to the upheaval of what's being thrown up in the air to then be cleared. So let's move on to theme 2, because I want to speak to this piece of clearing space. One of the sayings that came through from the records when I was receiving it around this theme was sights set on something new. So with the upheaval, when you have an idea of maybe what needs to be cleared, what that clearing of space is going to allow you to do is see where you're headed next, see what you're deepening into, see what you're integrating deeper into, see what you're starting fresh with. There's an energy of new beginnings. Now, what they're showing me with job and with job and career is that this could still mean that you're at the same job or you're branching out into a new path that's at the same place, but there is still new beginning energy there because you're starting a new path for yourself. Same with a new home, a new living situation. But what they want to say here too is it doesn't mean you're leaving everything behind. A big piece of this journey and expansion is understanding that you're always taking aspects with you. You're always taking pieces that you will have integrated with you, aspects of self, learning, skills, internal development, new beliefs that may be shifted from old, ways you're seeing the world, perspectives. Like, it's not that we just have to throw everything out. I don't know why the saying's coming through. The baby with the bathwater. That's an odd saying, but that was coming through. I'm going to have to look that one up. It doesn't mean you have to leave everything behind. And a note here too, if this is resonating for you with relationship, you could be creating a new beginning in a current relationship, but it's almost like a 2.0, a fresh start, a new way of seeing something, a new way that you are showing up that feels so different. So allow yourself in the clearing of space to clear as much as possible. Because the more you clear, the greater the space you get to fill with this new, fresh energy. Don't be afraid to let go. Let go can feel like a scary feeling. It can feel like we don't have control. But there can be a sense of safety found in deepening into the new vision for ourselves, deepening into the new space that you're settling into. What do you want that to feel like? What do you want that to look like? And we're going to explore this in terms of some practices that they recommend this month. Theme 3, hold steady. Hold steady. Another saying that came through with this was keep your eye on the prize. Because if we connect back to the clearing of the space, this can sometimes feel really scary. Sometimes we're being asked to clear space before we've tapped into that new piece. Sometimes we're being asked to clear space before we get to know what's coming. Often we don't get to know what's coming. Hold steady. Keep your eye on the prize. Again, I'm going to talk about this in daily practices that can help you. But this one is as simple as it sounds. Simple, yes. Hard, yes. But simple in that keep your eye on the prize. Because what you desire, what you know on a deeper level is meant for you. What you desire to experience, that's the prize. Keep your eye on it. Keep your eye on it. Keep your eye on it. Your third eye. The other theme that's connected to that last one that they want to speak to here as well is theme 4, dream big. Sometimes we can have a fear around really letting ourselves go there in terms of what we desire, what we hope to experience. And it's interesting, I spoke to this piece I'm being reminded of it. I spoke to this piece in our Empowered Awakening call last night with the ladies that are in our program. This piece around hope, that when we let ourselves like fully tap into something that we desire for ourselves, that sometimes this energy of hope can come through, and that can feel really scary, and parts will show up to protect us from the disappointment of that piece not happening. That's a really human response. That's a really human thing to do to protect ourselves. And so it's reminding me to give this piece of guidance when it comes to dreaming big. We're allowed to have these dreams, and in fact, we have them. The vision is there because your soul is already experiencing it. Your soul already knows that it's part of the path. And so how do you create a safe foundation for you to experience that peace? And what I mean by that is, it's probably not going to go how you expect it to go. That's actually the point, because that's where we form the trust. We form the trust because there will always be disappointment on this path. And it's not actually the disappointment. We can sometimes get stuck on that, but that's not actually the point. It's how are we supporting ourselves in that? That's where the trust is formed and developed. And so dream big, knowing that it's probably not going to go exactly how you expect it to go. but you do get to feel how you want to feel. And when it's not going exactly how you expect it to go, how are you supporting yourself in that? That's where you build faith. And the hope doesn't feel as scary. The last theme, clicking into place. And I know I talked about this in the intro, sort of the descent coming down the mountain. The more you are paying attention to the upheaval and the pieces that need to change and shift, and the more that you're allowing yourself to clear space of those pieces that need to change and shift, the more that the clicking into place will feel natural. It will have a flow to it. It's like the puzzle pieces will naturally fall into place. Things are actually supposed to feel easy. How do you feel about that one when I say it? Things are supposed to feel easy. It's the human in us that makes it harder. It's our protective mechanisms that make it harder. Even the really hard things that show up get to feel easier. We just make them really complicated, especially if we're fighting them and resisting them. So connected to the space of clicking into place is letting yourself bask in some ease, letting yourself enjoy the moments where there is flow, because those moments will naturally begin to expand and become more consistent. The more you let yourself tap into them, the more you let yourself receive. Okay, let's talk about some practices that are going to help you, some daily practices that are going to help you in working with the energy this month. 1, pace yourself. That can sound easier said than done, but actually slow down. Slow down. That's going to help with the upheaval. Almost imagine yourself throwing things up in the air and then pausing the picture. When that upheaval energy is showing up, can you back up for a moment and just pause? Look at what's in the air. Take a moment to maybe move things around if you can. Take a moment to check in with yourself, to see how you're feeling, to see the emotions that are showing up, to see the attachments that are showing up, and being able to see your attachments is really going to help you in the clearing of space. So pace yourself. Pause. 2, and I say this probably every month, nervous system regulation. But there's a really important reason why this month. It's to help you pace yourself in your expansion. This bell curve, this mountain, the energy this month of the mountain, climbing up the mountain, getting to the top, looking around, spaciousness, descending in new energy and new beginnings. There's expansion energy here. Expansion doesn't feel safe if we're going too fast. Expansion doesn't feel safe if we're not present, if we're not connected, if we're just hopping onto the next thing. Nervous system regulation every day, whatever that looks like for you. For me, sometimes that's going for a walk in the forest. Sometimes it's going for a run. Sometimes it's meditating. Sometimes it's breath work. Sometimes it's going to sleep earlier. That one's hard for me. But it can look so different each day. But pick something each day where you know you can feel your nervous system exhale, where you know you can feel your nervous system reconfigure, get back to the baseline. That is what's going to allow the energy this month, the expansion energy, to feel safer. This next one is somewhat related to pacing yourself and nervous system regulation, using discernment. And this can be done in really quick, easy ways. Maybe not quick, I mean, if we're trying to slow down. But what I mean is you can tap into your discernment very efficiently the more you practice it. But when you're moving with intention, it becomes even easier to tap into your discernment of what is true for you. I imagine this upheaval energy, right? And if we back away and pause for a moment, that allows you to discern what you want to do next. And that's going to be a big piece of energy here, is moving from one thing to the next this month, being in flow with it. So when things are in upheaval, you back away, take a pause, and then discern what you want to do next with that piece. That discernment is going to be gold for you this month. The last piece, this is an important one. Every day, tap into your desire, your intention. This is something we're working on in our Empowered Awakening group right now, is having a clear intention for what you desire in your life. When we have intention, when we have a clear intention, that grounds us, that roots us, that anchors us deeper within our intuition, with our soul, and it allows the journey to move with greater flow. Doesn't mean it's easier. And so tapping into what you desire, how you want to feel, what you want to experience, how you want to feel moving even through the hard pieces. Get clear on what you desire, and that will anchor you, I promise you. Okay, my friends, that is it. I managed to get through 23 minutes of speaking with my throat and my tea. I hope that the energy this month, I hope you can find grounding through it, an anchor. If you need more help, I'm always here. I'm always here, and this is why I make these, is so that you don't feel alone on the path. So many of us are moving through very similar themes, patterns in the energy, because what you are feeling individually is often something showing up collectively. We're all one. And so know that you're not alone. And know that whatever is showing up right here, right now, is part of your soul path. Don't fight it. Don't resist it. Try to trust it. Have a beautiful month, and I'll see you next week.